has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast. It's Ferrall on the bench, coast to coast, in the biggest way possible. Hanging out the bad seat, the burgundy, the bad apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City, the Big Apple. Ooh. People dressed in plastic bags, directing traffic, some kind of fashion shake-up should do, along with the Tutty and Tater King himself, the founder of the ILC podcast, the rights holder of the Sheet of Integrity, the put it with the golf guru, Carver High this afternoon, ladies. Mafia's running it with Luke. I am your father. The rundown on a midweek Where Do You Hurt Wednesday, a double shot with Morency from British Columbia this very hour in the second hour. Look who it is. Rick Hamla from Sports Ethos, the NBA analyst, back on C2C, and then a double shot. In the final hour, the coup de grace was Stewie. Keith Stewart from Read the Line, talking golf with Carver High. So, a lot of action today in baseball. I want to start with this. I have been watching the lowly Pirates play.
They stink.
I mean to tell you, they are getting 2 hit, shutout, 7 strikeouts at least for Sonny Gray. They are the most anemic, awful, horrible lineup I've ever seen in my life. They stand in the batter's box. They don't even swing at pitches. They just stand there and get paid for nothing. They are just absolutely wretched. They suck. Stone, ground, ass, mustard. I mean, I'm watching them. I told Luke when I checked in, I have more fun watching Dana Bash do political talk on CNN. Honestly. I mean, I have had more fun at funerals than watching the Pirates play. He's like, well, they got 6 more wins than the Rockies. Oh, stop the press. I mean, they are absolutely the effing worst. I actually had more fun watching their usher beat the crap out of some drunk fan at the ballpark and not only beat his ass, knock out his teeth, but he pulled his belt off of his pants and started belt to ass treatment, which we live for on C2C. Belt to ass, Carver High. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. By the way, 8 strikeouts for Sonny Gray. He's got 8 strikeouts. 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 8 Ks, 1 walk for Sonny Gray. I don't know if he's coming out for the 8th yet. We'll see. They go to the top of the 8th in St. Louis, 3-0 Cardinals. They lead the Buccos. We did just get a final as Cleveland takes the final game of this series with the Nationals, 8-6. The final score this afternoon. The Astros have a 6-1 lead over the Brewers as Jeremy Pena with a 3-run homer in that game for Houston. And the Giants have a 1-0 lead over the Cubbies. That is in the bottom of the 3rd at Wrigley. RBI single for Wilmer Flores there in that. I do have some later afternoon games that I'll give to you later this hour because they don't start until around 3:40, 3:35, 3:40. So we have some time, and we will get those in later here on C2C. Let's start with last night. And look, you did get another great game in the NBA playoffs. What? Another melt, too. Like an absolute melt.
Patty melt.
By the Cleveland Cavaliers last night as they blow a 20-point lead, just like Boston did the night before. And the Pacers come all the way back. Halliburton gets the rebound on the missed free throw, shoots the step-back 3. Bang, 120-119. They send him home. Mitchell's got 48. Too bad you lose. Pacers win both games in Cleveland. Scotty, unbelievable.
No, it really wasn't. Is it that surprising? We picked them again. Not only that, well, I said yesterday on the show they could win this game outright. They don't have Mobley. They don't have Hunter. They don't have Garland. Why not beat them again? Why not take the Pacers? Sure enough, they were up 117-110. They blow it. It was Patty Melt City. It was Cuban sandwich, Cuban Missile Crisis. Halliburton, the step back dagger three, and then the low-hanging fruit to the fans. Did you see him give him the low-hanging fruit? I mean, that was fantastic. Yeah. That's twice in a week the guy's had a game winner, and he's been unbelievable. They steal both games in the land at the Rocket. That's enormous. What is it? 7 teams have ever come back after losing the first 2 at home in a series in the NBA playoffs history. So I think they're in big trouble. Not only that, I don't know how many times I've said to you on this show, like, I don't think Cleveland's going away. I really don't. But I still think the Pacers are a better team. I'm not fooled by the great regular season and how fantastic they were on a night-to-night basis. For my money, stacked, built-wise, the Pacers are 10 deep. They got 2 sets of 5 that can roll, and they can play, and they can score. They got everything. Guards, great bigs, great shooters. I think they got a really great coach. They got it all. Pacers have it all. They were in the Eastern Final last year when they got their ass beat, but maybe they learned something from getting their ass beat by the Celtics, because they look a lot better this year in the playoffs than they did last year in, disposing of the Knicks and getting to the Eastern Final. I just think they're a really tough team.
I saw today that the excuse now is Cleveland's injured. They got a lot of injuries. That's why they lost the first 2 games. Too many injuries. They can't overcome it.
There's no doubt it's a problem, but it's not a good excuse, because they had that game in the bag. They were celebrating. They were dancing. The crowd was partying. I mean, Spida has a 48 burger, and you lose. That means, you lose.
You lose. That's how it goes. By the way, they got Sonny Gray out of this game. He did not come out for the 8th inning. Leadoff single for Tommy Pham. Fly out. Single up the middle for O'Neal Cruz. First and third, 1 out for the Buccos here against this Leahy in the top of the 8th. And they got Brian Reynolds coming to the plate. So maybe the Buccos.
I've had enough of the Pirates. Rally. Honestly, I was literally picking boogers watching them. They're so bad. I'm watching PSG with a 1-0 aggregate. Oh. No score against Arsenal in Paris in the Champions Semi, winner to meet Inter May 31st for the Champions League title. And this game's great already. Already a couple of chances for PSG on the doorstep. Couldn't stuff it in. Remember, they're up 1 aggregate, so Arsenal has to play at least 1 to send it to extra time.
They certainly do. We have that going on this afternoon as well. The Warriors, of course, won game 1 in Minnesota last night, despite losing Steph Curry, who are going to be without at least for the next 3 games, because the Warriors missive that they put out late this afternoon says will be reevaluated in 1 week, which means he's not going to play any games in the next week, which means he's going to miss the next 3 games, games 2, 3, and 4.
7 to 10 days with the grade 1, and I knew this morning, my sources told me this morning at 6 a.m. that he was not playing in game 2. So we knew that. And I also knew at 6 a.m. George Pickens was going to the Cowboys.
Yeah, Pickens to the Cowboys.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Cosmo was supposed to fight Ciaran Clark, but he had to pull off injury. You get the call. You get to go in there. What was it like for you when you got that call, jumping in there and be part of this bantamweight tournament on short notice?
Terrifying, man. 2 weeks notice against a stud, but I've been preparing my whole life for it, and I couldn't say no to the opportunity, and saw what happened. I came in there and kind of shocked the world. Not kind of, I did.
Only on SportsGrid.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
We know your other brother Marv did the Knicks forever, but you've done just about every team in the league. You did games. Yeah. You did Dr. J games.
But after 45 years in this crazy business, people kept telling me, you got to write a book. So I did, and here it is.
Ferrall, Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Two guys that can do it all. Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What?
How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
You can catch Sports Rage weeknights at 10 on all of our TV and radio outlets. 10 East to midnight. It's Sports Rage with Gabe Morency. We get him every day for a double shot from Vancouver. Before I get into the hockey from last night, the Canes overtime win, the Oilers win in Vegas, I wanted to get your reaction to seeing Pickens traded to the Cowboys and what you think the Steelers were up to in terms of, Mafia had said, why didn't they do it before the draft? And they could have, gotten all these picks and blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, I think they want to stack it up for next year's draft that's in Pittsburgh, is load up on picks for that draft.
I'll be honest with you. I've given up on trying to figure out what the Pittsburgh Steelers are doing, Scott. But it seems to me that you kind of just get worse on a daily basis instead of better. Like you're running, you know what I mean? There's, like you said, if you're going into the draft and or there's a bunch of options available, and it's like, listen, they're playing 4D chess here. They know what they're doing. What are they doing, right? And how many times are you going to draft a player? And, I mean, how many wide receivers become problems, so-called problems, for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Is Pickens a problem, or can Tomlin just not, is Tomlin too much of a player's coach that players are running wild on him? You don't have a quarterback. You overpay DK Metcalf. And what's the point of bringing in DK Metcalf if we all know one wide receiver is not enough in the National Football League? I don't get the Steelers' plan, Scott. I got to be honest with you. Are they rebuilding? Are they retooling? Why don't you just keep Justin Fields? Like, honestly, he doesn't even make a lot of money. Right? You were winning games with him, right? So I don't know, Scott. I got to be honest. If I was a Pittsburgh, put it this way. If I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, I like this deal. Right? You didn't really give up anything. You got another wide receiver to add with CeeDee Lamb right now. Is he a little bit of a prima donna and a head case? Yeah. All right. But, pretty much every wide receiver in the NFL is. You've got to figure out how to deal with them and just sort of keep them happy. I don't know, Scott. Like I said, I think if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, finally the Cowboys did something. Right? I like what the Cowboys have had good drafts, just for the record, as far as the Cowboys' perspective. Cowboys draft well, guys. For all the criticism of Jerry Jones, and trust me, I get it, they do draft good players. And they just, they don't pay them after, or they don't want to bring in free agents. If you look at Dallas, Scott, this is what they needed to do. Jerry's been hesitant for all the money that they have. The Cowboys don't go over the cap. Like, they don't spend money, Dallas. Like, for all the talk of, oh, they did this and that, they really don't. It's all sort of smoke and mirrors. This is sending a message, at least, we're getting better. We know we needed another threat. They got another threat. I like this from the Cowboys. I'm a little bit bullish on the Cowboys coming into the year, Scott. I think Schottenheimer will do a good job. Listen, say what you will about Dak Prescott. The guy wins regular season games, Scott. When Dak Prescott's healthy, the Cowboys go to the playoffs, and then they lose every year. But I'm talking about regular season wins. Their win total is like 7.5, bro. Like, I don't think they're going to be that bad. Like, I don't know. How do you feel about it from a Steeler fan? Like, you're the one with season tickets. I don't know what the hell they're doing.
They still don't have a quarterback. This kid, Will Howard's not their quarterback. He's the, I guess, future if in some capacity, perhaps. But the question is, are they going to get Lazard? That's been talked about this afternoon. Are they getting Rodgers? I'm sick and tired of waiting for Aaron Rodgers. And then I don't care if he was at the Met Gala with a wedding ring on. I don't care if he's married.
How about this, Scott?
I have never seen anything drawn out more than this guy's bullshit.
How about this? And I'm with you. If I'm the Steelers, I wouldn't want him. And I don't know if they're insane, if this is their 4D chess plan. That, Aaron Rodgers will get off the ketamine for a day and decide he wants to play for us or whatever he's doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. And Will Howard's not the answer, okay? Like, Will Howard's not better than Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph's better than Will Howard is. So, Will Howard's not the answer here. I'm just throwing – I brought this up the other night. I haven't heard anybody bring this up, but the Cleveland Browns are going to cut Deshaun Watson loose, Scott. Deshaun Watson, you roll the dice. You don't really have to pay him much because you just got $250 million from the Browns, and you tell him, listen, you don't have a lot of options, bro. So – you did sign Michael Vick before. How about, you know what I mean? I'm just throwing it out there. You can't go into the season next year with Mason Rudolph and Will Howard as your quarterbacks, bro.
And Skylar Thompson. Yeah, it's bad. What did you think of the Canes and Oilers wins last night?
I think the Oilers are a scary team, guys. I think you're going to win the Stanley Cup. I picked the Leafs before the playoffs started. I was kind of bold. I did a bracket, and it just sort of worked out that way. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to change this. But with that being stated, I had the Jets making it to the finals. We'll see what happens with the Jets if they can, they can survive. But I don't know who can beat this Oilers team, Scott. Imagine if the Oilers didn't spot you 2 goals every game. Like, they're a juggernaut. Once they start playing downhill, bro, you cannot stop them. You and I both liked them last night. They were underdogs. Yeah. I talked about it. I said, once they start skating downhill at you and they flick that switch, and it took them a couple of minutes, they were down 2-0, and then they just owned the rest of the game. Vegas Golden Knights had like 5 shots on goal, 5-on-5, Scott. Like, they got dummied last night. Like, I know.
They had one shot in the second period. I've been on the Oilers all year. The whole season, I thought they'd go back to the finals and win the Stanley Cup with McDavid.
They're just next level fast, bro. When they dial it up. They came close last year. I've always felt that it's certain players. They come into the league and you're like, this guy's going to win a championship. And that's, how we judge greatness, right? It was like, Crosby's going to win Stanley Cups, and he did. Connor McDavid's too good not to win a Stanley Cup. Like, if Connor McDavid doesn't win a championship, Scott, you could say he's one of the maybe the best player ever not to win a championship. Like, people talk about Barkley. McDavid's better at hockey than Barkley was at basketball, and I know Barkley's awesome. But you know what I'm saying?
Right. You're right about that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, McDavid, you could say, is the best player in any sport not to win a championship. I mean, the guy's one of the best players ever to play in the National Hockey League. Like, Wayne Gretzky and Lemieux would say, oh, he's better than I am. I'm not saying that because I got reverence for these guys. But you know what I'm saying? Crosby's great, but McDavid, Scott, you see him. He plays at a next level, bro. Like, next level fast. And Draisaitl ain't bad either for a German.
So dangerous. Both those guys are so dangerous. When we come back, we'll talk about the Leafs with a 1-0 lead, home again tonight against the Panthers, and Dallas Winnipeg start up their Western semi in Winnipeg.
New to social casinos? You're in for a treat. Most online casinos offer bonus cash or coins just for signing up. That's your own little participation trophy. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
Rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple of
18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Dr. Dre said at one time here, James Wood, always up to no good, man. I like a couple players in that lineup, man, on a day-to-day basis can really get after it. Again, playing good baseball, 15-19 overall. We'll see how they pursue.
The Reds. Reds are a really fun team. Reds are, we're going to talk about them a ton, and I don't think they'll compete for a wild card. But again, they're a team like the Nats where they're going to give other teams trouble at times, and they can't overlook that matchup. Cubs win the division, as we all expected.
Pro baseball today, only on SportsGrid.
The Warriors' future was uncertain. Are they going to break it up? Is Steve Kerr coming back? They get Jimmy Butler, and they surge all the way through, and now they're through the first round.
The Warriors have guys, because of how special their star three trio is, they can make the guys around them better. They can elevate the way that they play. And we saw that. Steph Curry, 3 points in the first half, steps up in the second half, 19 points in the second half to carry them home.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Leafs are a heavy dog tonight on their home ice. Even though they won game one, they're getting over $1.25, 5.5 the total against the Panthers. I'm surprised after the way Nylander and the way they looked in game one that it's not a pick'em.
Yeah, I don't want to say that it's a must-win like game one was, because I think the Leafs, it's not ideal to split on home ice, but at least the Leafs got to win. I think they can split in Florida, but tonight becomes... Listen, if we want to win this series for real and we're Stanley Cup contenders for real, we win this game tonight on our home ice. We played well the other night. Listen, they lose Stolars, but I think that can sort of rally the team together a little bit. And I also think, listen, the Leafs, everybody, Leaf Nation wants blood, Scott. Everybody wants to run Bobrovsky. They want to run Bennett tonight, but it's kind of like running Brock Lesnar. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to beat them. Like, you're not going to out-wrestle Brock Lesnar. You're not going to, like, out-fight the Panthers in the corners and start cheap-shotting them. I think the best revenge is winning if you're the Leafs. And the best revenge is continue to frustrate the Panthers, try to get the Panthers to take penalties, and capitalize on the power play after. This is a big game for the Panthers tonight. They've shown their ability to bounce back and their resiliency, Scott, but I'll ride the wave with the Leafs once again. Look, the Leafs are going to be underdogs in every game in this series, guys. They're plus 125 underdogs on home ice tonight. What are they going to be when they go to Florida? They're going to be even bigger underdogs. I think the Leafs are going to win this series. I'm getting plus money with the Leafs in every game in this series. I'm just going to pull the trigger again tonight with the Leafs, Scott.
The Jets open at home game one against the Stars. Dallas favored minus $1.15, 5.5 here as well.
Well, now this game, Scott, I'm starting to think if you're the Winnipeg Jets, this is like Team of Destiny stuff, right? You know, it's like winning on a Hail Mary. Now, I know that they were saying that Scheifele and Morrissey are game time decisions tonight. Scheifele, I thought Scheifele was going to play on Sunday. He didn't. I'd be shocked if he doesn't. I don't know about Morrissey. I would expect he would play, but I think Scheifele will play tonight. Listen, Connor Hellebuck, for all the talk, guys, about his road struggles. And let me repeat, the Winnipeg Jets could lose every road game in the playoffs this year and win the Stanley Cup. They have home ice in every series they play in. He's 16-0-1 in his last 17 home games. And Connor Hellebuck told his teammates, guys, during the game, the other night on Sunday, he told them they won't score again, I promise you. Like, basically, they looked and they're like, oh, yeah, he's back. He's back. He's got his swagger back. Like, he got up and he told everyone, guys, you just go score. I promise you they won't score on me again in this game. They didn't. All right? He's going to figure it out on the road, Scott. Connor Hellebuck, I mean, the guy, he's a good goalie, right? Like, I mean, the guy was the best goalie in the NHL this year. He's up for the MVP of the damn league. He's going to figure it out on the road. And once he does, the Jets could get rolling a little bit. It's going to be a hell of a series. The Stars are an awesome team. The Jets are an awesome team. The Winnipeg's a great environment for these games with the whiteout and stuff. I'm going to ride the emotion and the wave with the Jets if they keep it going from the other night, Scott. Give me the home dog, plus 100 tonight.
The Celtics are down 1 at home tonight at the Garden, laying 10.5, now down to 10 against the Knicks, who stole game 1 in overtime by 3. Who do you like tonight in Beantown?
I was surprised what happened. You know, we saw the other night with the Knicks. We talked about the game, and I said, damn, Scott, I don't know, man. The Knicks just don't. They always get blown out by these guys, or they don't beat them. Great performance. We know Boston are going to shoot the 3 better, but if you recall, guys, I brought it up in the last game, and the total when I came on, Scott, was 212.5 when you and I spoke 2 days ago. And I said, you know, the last 7 times these two teams have played, they've scored more than this. They got to 213, Scott, all right? Barely. It's 211.5 tonight. Boston had their worst three-point shooting performance of the year, and the game still went over the number. This game's going over the number tonight. As far as the spread is concerned, I don't want to lay 10.5. You know, I guess it sort of has Boston blowout written all over it, but I'm not going to lay the 10.5. And in fact, I'll dance with the devil and take the 10.5. But I'm going to go bigger on the over, Scott. And once again, I'm going to go right back. Give me the Denver Nuggets plus 10.5 points tonight.
PSG just scored, and they're up 1-0 on Arsenal in Paris, and the aggregate now is 2-0. It looks like we're going to get a PSG Inter Championship League final.
Wow. So it's always Spanish side, Scott. You know what I mean? Or EPL teams. Right. This is shaking it up a little bit, man. Serie A versus La Liga.
There's no doubt.
New to social casinos? You're in for a treat. Most online casinos offer bonus cash or coins just for signing up. That's your own little participation trophy. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
Just a little flyer, couple 18.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Dr. Dre said at one time here, James Wood, always up to no good, man. I like a couple players in that lineup, and on a day-to-day basis can really get after it. Again, playing good baseball, 15-19 overall. We'll see how they pursue.
The Reds are a really fun team. Reds are important. Talk about them a ton, and I don't think they'll compete for a wild card. But again, you're a team like the Nats where they're going to give other teams trouble at times, and they can't overlook that matchup. Cubs win the division, as we all expected.
Pro baseball today, only on SportsGrid.
The Warriors' future was uncertain. Are they going to break it up? Steve Kerr coming back. They get Jimmy Butler, and they surge all the way through, and now they're through the first round.
The Warriors have guys, because of how special their star trio is, they can make the guys around them better. They can elevate the way that they play. And we saw that. Steph Curry, 3 points in the first half, steps up in the second half, 19 points in the second half to carry them home.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
So, Carver High, there are other afternoon games getting ready to start up over the next, hour and a half.
There certainly is. Let's take a look at those right now. 3 games in the late afternoon section that are about to get going, including the Mariners and the A's in Sacramento. The rubber match. Mariners with a rally last night in the 9th inning to come back and win. They'll have Brian Wu this afternoon. The immortal Gunnar Hoglund is pitching for the A's today. Mariners minus 135 plus $1.15 for the A's and a 9.5.
God, I really, I think Wu-Tang Clan here, but I'm going to go Gunner because I got a Gunner, and I'm watching the Gunners right now, so I'm feeling Gunner love today. Your boy Hogland at West Sacktown. Can I get an A's victory today, an upset of Wu-Tang?
The Diamondbacks and the Mets will finish off their series in Arizona. Merrill Lynch Kelly against Kodai Senga today. Minus 120 for the Mets, even money for the Snakes, and another 9.5.
Yeah, I like the under here, and I like Senga and the Mets, to be honest with you. The ghost ball. Your boy, the fork.
Keep in mind, I know we'll do taters later for the night games, but if you wanted to know, Pete Alonso, 5 for 16 with 3 homers off of Merrill Lynch Kelly in his career. So if you just wanted to
blast another one, what, Monday?
Monday we had him, yeah. Monday night.
Jack and home runs.
Oh, yeah. I'd keep an eye on that today if you're so interested in the long balls. And finally, late afternoon, actually a little bit an hour from now, 4:40 p.m. East in Miami, South Beach, for the Dodgers and the Marlins. Marlins walked them off last night for the win. Today it'll be Bellozo the Clown going for the Marlins. That's a problem when you got him against this Dodger lineup. Landon Knack, man, they might as well just bring the whole, forget lighting a match. They just bring, the whole gasoline tank, right out there onto the pitcher's mound with these two guys going. Knack and Bellozo the Clown. That's why the total's 10.5. This afternoon.
He's got a knack for things. Give me the Dodgers in the over. Freddie Freeman will jack another home run. What's he got, one every game in the series?
He's been hot. I know you saw the one Ohtani hit last night in the last, it was almost the last row in the upper deck.
It's landed at Mafia's driveway.
I mean, what a shot that he hit. And like I said,
Judge is better.
Judge is better, especially so far this year. He's been better. There you go. We'll keep an eye on all these games. The Cardinals have extended, by the way. Actually, it's over 5-0. It's finished. It's finally over in St. Louis.
When you said they had runners on first and third, I never thought for 1 second they would score even 1 run. They suck.
Reynolds struck out. Just an awful job by him, and then you knew it wasn't going to get done after that. Giants up 3-0 on the Cubs. Astros are now up 9-1 on the Brewers. All right, let's get to this stuff from last night. Pacers beat the Cavs 120-119. They lead the series 2-0 now, heading back to Indiana. The Cavs had a 20-point lead in this game. It looked like they were going to cruise, and then in the fourth quarter, the Pacers just kept chipping away. And then in the final moments, Halliburton at the line had a chance to make it a 1-point game. He misses it, Scotty, and then this happens from there on TNT.
And they've got to, again, get this basketball in. It's going to be a 1-point game. You know you're going to get fouled. If you're your guys have got to do a much better job of getting open.
Misses Halliburton, the rebound. 9 seconds. They do have a timeout. Carlisle's going to let him play. Halliburton steps back and hits. Tyrese Halliburton trying to take Cleveland's heart. It is over. The Indiana Pacers in a Game 2 stunner.
I mean, that buzzer was so emphatic. Halliburton's a badass, and they said he's the most overrated player in the league. His peers allegedly say he's overrated. As he continues to rake, I think he's a really good player, a really good shooter, and I think he's a pretty decent leader for them. I am not surprised at all at all. Like, I act like this is some miracle or that it shouldn't have happened and all this other stuff. They beat their ass in game 1, and they just wouldn't quit last night. And the Cavs effed it up nice and juicy, Baconator style. Bottom line is, they left the door open against a team that you need to lock the door and padlock it, because he's coming. He's going to sleep with your wife. I mean, this dude just took your heart right out of your chest and threw it in the garbage after he took a bite out of it. 2-0 Pacers. See ya. And on the way out of town, you got to grab breakfast at the Pacer bar at the airport. Always fabulous waffles, eggs, you get a Bloody Mary, you get it all going right there.
Well, the Cleveland crowd was even chanting the overrated stuff at him last night during the game. Definitely didn't help at the end, but here he is talking about it afterwards.
That one was unexpected. I didn't know we had beef, but yeah, I guess that, I mean, good for them, man. That came out of nowhere, but it's just, I think now that label's there, they're all, that's how it's going to be every time we play somebody. Every time on the road, he'll probably follow me until the next poll comes out, and then we'll see if I'm number one again. But, you know, for me, I just control what I can, man. Yeah, I mean, overrate that.
Hey, listen, you know what? This guy's got all kinds of problems. His dad's an embarrassment. He's had to deal with that. But he's had to deal with the NBA peers saying that he's overrated. The media ran with it. How do you feel about being overrated? Is there anything more painful to a guy that is clearly not overrated? He's a stud. How many, playoff winning shots does he have to hit? And it never happens once in a series, let alone twice in a playoff season. This guy's had 2 game winners. So is Gordon. You going to say he's overrated? This guy's overrated? All this guy does is win. And, you know, through all this drama off the court and in the press, what a facial he's providing for everyone. They can all kiss his ass and shut up. I mean, what are you going to say about this guy now? Listen, I have never wavered that he's a baller. You never heard me say a bad word about him. Seriously.
No. He's getting it done, and he really has played better since that poll came out. Like, that poll came out at the start of playoffs, and he's just been outstanding.
That poll is a bunch of bullshit, is what it is.
And remember something else, and we said this when we did the story about the poll. The poll was like 90 guys in the whole league. You know, it's like 15% of the league.
And not one of them will put their name to it.
Nobody puts their name to it. It really is dopey.
It's a joke.
At the end of the day, when it comes down to it.
Remember what Carlisle said? He said, it's absolute bullshit.
Yeah, he was definitely a lot more stern about what he thought of the poll. We'll finish this off when we come back, just hearing from Donovan Mitchell, who honestly, with all those guys out, did as much as you could possibly do. He had 48 points.
Yes.
Basically couldn't. He got banged up at the end. Like, he barely could drag himself off the court at the end of that game. So he looks pretty defeated. We'll hear from him when we come back, and Kenny Atkinson, and then get into the Warrior win in Minnesota against the Wolves. Huge win for the Warriors.
I had 40 this morning, and a guy told me that I was wearing brown and shorts and a yellow shirt, and he said I looked like cable and urine at the same time as I was having 40. So the 40 got me nothing but insults.
Vegas knows how to show love to our everyday heroes. So if you're a first responder, you are in for some perks. Lots of hotels and casino offer big discounts to any first responders who can show valid work or volunteer ID. So treat yourself to a discounted stay. You deserve it. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The Warriors' future was uncertain. Are they going to break it up? Steve Kerr coming back. They get Jimmy Butler, and they surge all the way through, and now they're through the first round.
The Warriors have guys, because of how special their star three trio is, they can make the guys around them better. They can elevate the way that they play. And we saw that. Steph Curry, 3 points in the first half, steps up in the second half, 19 points in the second half to carry them home.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Under him was Sharon Moore, who also participated in the cheating scandal with Connor Stallions. So you know what happens to him? He doesn't lose his job. He doesn't get a 10-year show cause. He gets to keep his job, and they go, we're just going to suspend you for 2 games next season.
Now, all of a sudden, they're coming out with everything that we knew to be pretty much true when it was happening. Yeah, they were cheating. It was like Belichick and the videotapes, right?
The early line. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 15.5 points live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
So, my son in California, in San Diego, he basically wakes up right around now, at best. I mean, like ever. And he just found out that they traded Pickens. Here's what I got. Steelers are effing poverty, bro. Least serious franchise in the NFL. All the Pittsburgh teams are pathetic now. It's crazy. I wrote him back and said, at least we can go to Del Frisco's the next time we're at a Steeler game. You know, try to stay positive, Garber High. A good steak, a tomahawk. You and I love a good tomahawk. When times are tough, Penguins are down 2, don't have a coach. All the teams in Pittsburgh are homeless, but you can still get a tomahawk right next to the Willie Penn, right on the corner. I mean, this is a positive outlook for me.
Everybody does love tomahawk steaks. So when you think about how bad things are,
right?
You know, and look, I don't, you know, it is what it is. I don't love I think you should have got more. To be quite honest with you, 3rd round pick, and that's really what it is a 3rd round pick in next year's draft. I think he's worth a little bit more than that.
Is it not a 3rd, a 5th, and a 6th? I mean,
it's the 6th. It's Pickens and a 6th for a 3rd and a 5th. It's Pickens and a 6th. So they're sending a 6th in 27 to Dallas, and then the Steelers are getting the 3rd next year, the 5th in 27. That's the gist.
God, it's even worse. Jesus.
But
H.
I mean, my guess would be going back to what you were saying earlier, and what Moff was saying. I just don't think that the Cowboys wanted to give up draft capital this year. I think that the Cowboys, this deal was probably talked about before the draft. The Cowboys probably didn't want to give up any of this year's draft picks, so they held out to give up some draft picks next year. They didn't want to give up this year's draft picks. That would be my guess. But they got to sign him now, too, as well. So now they have the 2 big ones. They have Lamb and Pickens now. Could have been Metcalf and Pickens, but instead it's Lamb and Pickens. They still don't have a quarterback either, the Steelers. Still don't know where that is going to
So, I mean, the Cowboys have Lamb and Pickens. The Steelers have Metcalf.
Right.
That's all they have.
I'm saying that Pickens is going to have another guy next to him still that is going to take some attention, you know, and that's a huge thing. I feel like him being a second guy.
He doesn't like if anyone else gets the ball. That's his problem. That was the argument with the Steelers on the sidelines in the training rooms, in the meetings, in games, throwing helmets, throwing temper tantrums, throwing fits. And they felt that he would be a problem, in terms of negotiations for a new deal. They didn't even have to think about it. They just knew he was going to be painful. Allegedly, he's already told Dallas that he doesn't care about the deal yet. He just wants to prove that he's good. Well, everyone already knows he's good. The Steelers didn't want to deal with him. And this is the third guy, Brown, Claypool, now this guy. And let's face it, Deontay Johnson, throw him in there as well. They have not been able to, let's get real here for a second. They have not had one guy happy there playing receiver in the last 10 years. Every one of them is miserable. Can they all be wrong? Can Tomlin be right and they're all wrong? Every single guy is miserable? It's got to be for a reason. They don't throw the ball. They haven't thrown the ball since Roethlisberger. And even Roethlisberger at the end was a disaster.
Look, I'll just say it like this, and I know that Steeler fans get upset maybe when they get rid of these wide receivers, but if you go and look back, who were they wrong on? Like who ended up being better at their next stop? And you can go back as far as Mike Wallace, even Santonio Holmes. Like, I know Holmes had some good years for the Jets. He wasn't even as good as he was. He won a Super Bowl. He made a catch of his lifetime in the Steelers.
Right.
No, every wide receiver who Mike Tomlin has let go out the door, they have not been as good at the next stop or any other stop. They haven't. Even Brown, name them all. All of them. He gets rid of them at the right time, to be fair. He usually does. So we'll see if that's the case with Pickens in Dallas as well moving forward here. All right, let's quickly throw these in before we move to the Warriors. Here's Donovan Mitchell. The Cavs are down 0-2. They need to get to work.
How do you mentally get past this as you look forward to Friday for Game 3?
You ain't got no choice. I mean, we can sit here and dwell on this and be home in about 4 or 5 days, or we can move on and take some things that we did really well and go from there. I have no doubt everybody in that locker room is ready for Friday. It sucks, stings, but we got to go out there and take care of business. Otherwise, that's it. But I believe in everybody in the locker room. We believe in each other. We'll figure it out.
If the Pacers win that game, it's all she wrote.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, 3-0, it's absolutely all she wrote. Look, here's my thing. Can the Cavs get some of these guys back? That's really what it comes down to. Because Mitchell's dragging himself all over the place. And he's not going to be. He ain't putting 48 points up again on Friday in Game 3. He's just not. Someone's got. I mean, what's the matter with Garland? He's got a toe.
A big toe. Problem? There's nothing worse than toe jam. Carver High. Stay focused.
Okay, fair enough. Here is Atkinson. We'll try to slide him in if we can. The Cavs just need to get healthy.
Yeah, we got to get guys back. That's first. Hopefully, if we can, we can get guys back. I've been down 2-0 before at home, and we have enough talent. We have enough talent in there to go get. Game 3, that's it. That's all that counts. Not Game 4, not game. We just got to focus on getting Game 3. That's a tough blow, no doubt about it.
Well, let's not act like this is some kind of walk in the park at the field house in Indy. This is no cakewalk.
No cakewalk. Indiana, of course, now the favorites for this series. After taking the first 2 games, they're minus $1.98. 3 teams have come back from 7+ points down in the final minute of an NBA playoff game. 2 of them are the Pacers in the last 2 weeks. The other was the Thunder in 2014.
They're no joke.
Knows how to show love to our everyday heroes. So if you're a first responder, you are in for some perks. Lots of hotels and casino offer big discounts to any first responders who can show valid work or volunteer ID. So treat yourself to a discounted stay. You deserve it. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The Warriors' future was uncertain. Are they going to break it up? Steve Kerr coming back. They get Jimmy Butler, and they surge all the way through, and now they're through the first round.
The Warriors have guys, because of how special their star trio is, they can make the guys around them better, and they can elevate the way that they play. And we saw that. Steph Curry, 3 points in the first half, steps up in the second half, 19 points in the second half to carry them home.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Under him was Sharon Moore, who also participated in the cheating scandal with Connor Stallions. So you know what happens to him? He doesn't lose his job. He doesn't get a 10-year show cause. He gets to keep his job, and they go, we're just going to suspend you for 2 games next season.
Now, all of a sudden, they're coming out with everything that we knew to be pretty much true when it was happening. Yeah, they were cheating. It was like Belichick and the videotapes, right?
The early line. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
How about the Warriors, who seldom come out to play?
Yep, the Warriors made it a clean sweep of the underdogs in game ones of these conference semi-rounds. All 4 underdogs won outright. Warriors beat the Wolves 99-88 to take a 1-0 series lead. Steph Curry, of course, is the story here. He left in the first half with what's now been known as a grade 1 hamstring strain that's going to keep him out 7 to 10 days at the minimum. So guys had to step up last night. Jimmy Butler, 20 points, 11 boards, 8 dimes. Buddy Hield, who did nothing in the first half, came alive in the second half, hitting threes all over the place on TNT.
Draymond Green, the hub of the wheel, finds Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield delivers a 3-ball.
Buddy was 0 for 8 until that bucket, and that's what's
going to the rim like he normally does. He can't finish it. Hield in transition. Back-to-back threes. Buddy Hield knocks him down, and Chris Finch wants the timeout.
I remember Buddy in college. He could really shoot. And then I think he's been sporadic in the NBA. Like, he gets hot and cold. Right now he's hot. He's hit 14 threes in the last couple of games. He can go cold. But, you know, the game before that, he had 0 points.
Yeah.
Like, this guy can go hot and cold like nobody's business. He's going to be key to this now because, you know, Butler, Green, we know what they're going to do. We know what they're capable of and what their job is going to be. They're going to have to hold down this team with Curry out. You cannot win without Steph Curry. There's no way they're winning anything without Curry, like a title or going to the, you know, Western Final or anything else. I don't believe they can even win this series without him. Like, so he's going to miss 7 to 10 days. Let's just call it a week at least, at the very least, at the best. He's not going to play for a week. So that means he's going to miss game 2. He's going to miss the 2 games in San Francisco at the Chase, right, Mike? I mean, that's at the very least.
Yeah.
That'll be 6 days at least. So when they go back to Minnesota is when they're going to need him most. And those are going to be the hardest games when they have to go to the Target at the end of the series. The series is just getting started. That was a huge win last night that they won without him. He had 13-14 when he pulled it. You saw him pull it. You saw him leave the game. He never came back. He's done. We know that now. So the moral of the story is, for me, is that Hield is going to have to stay involved shooting the rock, and he's got to knock down shots. he's got to have, in my view, 18 plus a night, no questions asked. 18 plus a night. He had 24 last night. He's got to go into that realm. Anything over 20, they're Gandhi.
Well, look, there's going to be a lot more shots available now, right? With Steph not out there, someone's got to shoot. And it's on a nightly basis, it's got to be either Hield or Podziemski, right? Who's got to,
that's right.
They got to make more shots, or
that's
a
exactly
combination of both of them, make it, those are the two guys that, and I think more Buddy, you're right, than Podziemski, but they have got to now provide the long range points for the Warriors, because Steph's usually good for, on a really good night, 5-3, 6-3, 7. Those guys have to make up all of that ground with Steph not there.
And I think they got to use Peyton. His defense has got to be part of this, because Green can't be the only guy that's a real defender on that team. I think Looney is. They need Peyton. They need Green. They got to have three guys that are making stops. Like, you look at the Knicks, they got Anunoby, they got Bridges. Everybody has to step up on the other end and get stops, because I don't believe that in my opinion, the T-Wolves won't have another game under 90 in the series. They had 88. It's not happening again.
No, and I think that's the thing that surprised me the most was that, didn't you feel like Minnesota just looked like, for some reason, they looked so disinterested. They looked so disinterested last night. They were it's the opening game of the second round. They look like, between Randall and Ant, they just look like they didn't want to be there. It was so bizarre.
You can't explain
what was going on. You can't explain it. We'll hear from some of them later on as we'll go and finish off this game. 3-0 A's in Sacramento. 3-0 A's with a 3 spot on Brian Wu.
Hogland.
Yeah, the Hogland getting himself 3 runs spotted to him in the first inning. So scoreless Mets Diamondbacks. They are in the top of the second in Arizona there. So lots of day ball going on this afternoon. Keep it going.
And the Giants still up 3-1 on the Cubs. Top 6 at Wrigley. And the Giants have a runner at first, nobody out. So they got the leadoff guy on. Think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers could be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Ferrall coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
Is so crazy that you get both ends of that spectrum, and the narrative trying to be correct in doing so and to make a statement for engagement. You're wrong, you've been wrong, and deal with the reality of the situation.
All of the people that analyzed the draft mocked one in the first round, and even could he go to the Giants at number 3 or trade up back in that round. They got Dart, they didn't get Sanders, and the fall was on at that point.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to get a bunch of upsets. We're going to get a lot of craziness. Didn't happen as well. I mean, over the last calendar year, Sam, I don't ever recall 6 or 8 months of time in sports where the books lost, but here we are.
They estimate FanDuel and DraftKings lost $185 million combined for March Madness. So estimating not just that they didn't have a profitable March Madness, but it was a huge loss for them as well.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.